Hey everybody, welcome to a video by GreyElephant Gaming. This is a live play of Empires of Zidal. This is published by Dog Breath Games. Yes, you heard that right, Dog Breath Games, don't ask me. This is my wife over here, Carmen.
Hi.
And we are going to play a two-player match. Now we have actually changed things up already a little bit. We actually have added the 3+ player buildings over here. We're not supposed to do that, but we did it anyways because that's how we roll. However, all these cards here are for only 2 players, so that will be actually accurate there. We've already set up our market with all our gems. We have all our medals up here, and just for another note, I have decided to take out about, I think, 5 of the 3-point medals out of each to try to keep the game shorter. That way you guys can just see get a good feel for the video without having to take 2 hours to finish. So, anyways, without further ado, we go back to our rock, paper, scissors to see which one of us goes first. Remember, don't cheat. 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, go! Oh! Always get me with paper. Good old rock failed me. So, by all means, go. So, you draw 5 cards on your turn, and this is... this does have the feel of a deck builder. But what you're going to notice is that a lot of our actions are very independent, solo. There's not a whole lot of interaction between players. Everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. But what she's doing right now is that she has certain workers that will collect certain one of these gems that she's going to be able to use to hopefully try to purchase other workers or even possibly buildings. Children, which are located here, are used. You have to have a child in your hand to be able to try to recruit a worker out of the worker market. So at the end of your turn, you will always take another child and add it to your hand. So you can always make sure that you try to have a child to be able to use. Now, after making all these stacks, there was 2 cards left over, so each of us actually got to just take one of them each. And I ended up getting select this one here, put into my deck. And we'll see which one she got here in just a bit.
Looks like I'm going to be selling.
So this is what I actually really enjoy most about this game, is this buying and selling market. So you can take the gems that you occur from the cards, and you can actually sell them back to purchase other gems to try to use those to try to purchase the characters that you're wanting on the board. It's really cool. And then there's certain characters that are military. They're characters that will attack your opponent. There's some characters that play the market, that this would be the market here.
I'm going to barely afford this, so it probably wasn't worth it.
There's some characters that are magic users, some characters that are the labor, and then entertainment. Entertainment usually lets you draw cards. Labor usually lets you buy buildings cheaper. Magic usually gets you medals or changes your medals. The market, obviously, influence here.
So you see, I had to manipulate things quite a bit to get the jewels I needed for her, but I did it, so...
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and start laying down my cards and collecting my resources as she's starting to put that in. So I get 8 silver for that character. I get 8 silver, and this is pretty much your starting hand with these 2 characters that give you the 8 silver. I get 2 yellow of these gems, and if I want to try, I could go ahead. Now let me show you real quick. At the top of the card listed here is the cost of what you would have to spend to try to purchase this character out of the worker market. But remember, this one was already placed in my deck. Now that we've got the box here, right here, this is what it would cost me to activate this character's ability, which would in turn give me 3 of the medals of the gears. This would be from the Labor Guild. So right now, I do have a yellow gem, but I would have to get a blue one too. And she bought a lot of those, so she kind of jacked up the price of them. But I do want to activate this person's ability, so I'm just going to purchase this blue gem out of the market. And then I'm going to put my yellow one and my blue one back into the earth. That's what this is called. And that will activate this character's ability, which will in turn give me 3 medal points here. Now, the game will end. There's 5 different guilds. And there's 5 different types of medals to represent each guild. The game will end once one of all of these are dried up in the guilds. Did you remember to get a child at the end of your turn?
I hired someone.
You already hired somebody, okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end my turn there, and then I'll pass play over to my wife
Did
again.
Did you hire someone? Or?
No, I didn't. So, see, I was about to break my own rule there. So I'm supposed to take a child at the end of my turn every time. But if you hire somebody, you would just typically keep the card, the child card that you had in your hand to be able to hire them.
I just like to do it this way so that, well, you can see what I'm doing, and so that I don't get confused and take something twice or forget something, whatever. So.
Now, typically early in the game, you can feel pretty comfortable about going ahead and laying your cards down and starting to fill these up in front of you. Just, was you going to, yeah, okay. Do you have a child to be able to hire from the worker market?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So while she's working on that, I might as well just go ahead and get my resources here that my cards would go ahead and give me anyways. That way it kind of speeds the game up a little bit. And as the game proceeds, you'll see that Carmen will start doing this more often too, as I'm still taking my turn. And the reason is there are cards that we can use to attack each other, but as long as you keep all this separate from your main stash, there shouldn't be any issues there.
Yeah. For example, he is take one, Jimmy, your choice. So I would know it would have to be from over here. I couldn't take these.
Right.
Because he wouldn't actually have those yet.
And this will help me visualize even more too as I'm looking at these workers. And later I'll be looking at these buildings to try to purchase those. And you got that guy? Okay. So I do have all my resources here. And I know what I want to try to do, but let's see if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and discard those because they're not needed. And I have one child, so I'd like to try to get this sorcerer here. So to be able to get the sorcerer, I have to spend one red, I have to spend one blue, and 3 greens. Well, I only have 2 greens, but greens are pretty cheap in the marketplace at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my purple for 4, and I'm going to only take 2 back from the earth. And the reason is because the greens only cost 2. And that'll give me the last green I need to be able to get this person. And I'll put those all back into the earth. I got my person. That was the child that I would have had to have drawn, so I'll just put that in my discard. Now play passes over to Carmen again. You can only get as many workers as children as you have in your hand. So if you only draw 1 child, then you can only get 1. If you draw 3 children, you have the chances of getting 3 workers. And like I said, if you notice, a lot of the actions we're taking are very independent. There's not a lot of, you know, back and forth here for the most part. Now, some of the military characters will go on the attack, and they will try to take resources from your opponents. And I think she did just recently get one. Some of the magic people will do it too. Okay. You can use other characters to try to help defend yourself. So she's going to try to use her knight, which would end up giving her 4 of these medals from the military guild.
So I need to...
And this is the tricky part of the game, is try to manipulate the market to try to get the resources you need to be able to try to not only get these characters into your hand, but also just to try to activate their abilities.
I'm still short, so sell another blue one.
And there are characters, like I said, that will influence the market itself, and you can try to really manipulate the costs of some of these.
Okay, so
you would need 2 of those and then 4 money.
2 of these, which would cost
Total
me 9.
And then there's your 4 medals. Now, the downside of this character is that while you he would be active from your 1, so you're going to place him right here. That's what this little spot on the board is here. Now we've got 6 spaces that are 1 through 4 here on everybody's board. The reason that those are there is that some characters become active, kind of like, I'm not sure how the rule book explains it. I was actually taught by the designer. But they'd be basically active in the workplace, I guess you could say. So he's just kind of standing guard. So that card will stay there until the beginning of her next turn, and then he would actually be moved. Now she's going to try to steal. What color, Jim? You should have taken my red one before you
Yeah, I should have. I know.
You can take it now, though. So
yeah, sure, I'll take your red one.
She spent 3 money now to activate her character. That is an attack on me. So she basically stole. Now, he does not actually go there. He would just go into your discard.
I don't really have room for my discard pile.
Why don't you just set it right there?
Now I could buy a worker. The turns get kind of long because you do one thing after another.
The turns are long for her because she is slow. She has AP.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and start getting my money here set up while we're waiting on her to finish her turn. And yes, it can take some time. At times it can seem like you're taking forever. But the reason is because there's a lot of options for you to take. The 5 different guilds, these buildings over here are going to influence them in different ways. So you're always trying to find which characters are going to work best with what buildings you're trying to
Okay, now I'm doing it again because I'm used to my discard pile being there.
Well, he'll be gone at the beginning of your next turn,
And
so that'd
these
be good.
go in for that card.
Okay.
Now, don't play this with somebody who's prone to cheat because it's like, I mean, so easy to cheat.
And you all done?
All done.
Okay, I'll go ahead and slide my resources over. I'll put these 2 in my discard pile. It is an awful big board, and the artwork is really pretty on this. I like it. I'm not sure who's done the artwork on this, but they've done a great job. And being a prototype, it's still attractive enough to keep you interested. So what I did there is I drew my character again, who I just basically paid one of the blue crystals and one of the yellows, and that just instantly just gives me 3 medals. So I'm going to set them over there to the side. And now I do have a couple of children here. I'd like to try to go into the market. I'd really like to try to get this other one here that would possibly let me get 3 medals with this character as well, but I'm not sure I can afford it, but I'll see if I can. She had an awful lot of fun taking my stuff over there, so let's see. So I would need a red and a blue, which would cost me a total of 11. Well, I should have that, so 5, 10, 11. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the earth. I'll go ahead and take those 2 crystals that I need, add the 2 money that I need as well, and that actually purchased this card. So what I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to build my deck around the labor force, and that's going to help me try to get the labor medals to try to hopefully, well, beat her, obviously. So that'll be the end of my turn. I did not need to draw another child, simply because I did recruit one, so I just put my children back into the deck. So. Now, first thing you would have done is that this knight here who was on active duty from the 1 spot, very first thing is he would be reduced. So that means he will now go into her discard pile. He will no longer be on duty. Duty.
You watched Wreck-It Ralph once too many times recently, I think.
Yeah. I was going to start making the jokes from Wreck-It Ralph about being on duty, and it was his duty and all that stuff, but I won't do it. I promise.
Wondering if I can afford the barracks. So we'll see.
So here she's going to try to, if she can get these barracks, that's going to be able to help her try to attack me even worse. You need to put the chair down and stop it.
Yes, I got the barracks. Wahaha.
We have our son over here. He's playing with his Farmageddon cards, so he's being a bit of a distraction trying to have fun.
And, oh, this is my cards. I'm like, what happened?
You're trying to cheat. This is
myself.
why I'm recording this game, because I think my wife cheats profusely. Even though I've won every single game, sans one. She actually won her first one. That was the last game.
Okay, now I've actually paid for the barracks. There you go. And I guess I'm done.
Okay, so you was able to get the barracks after all?
Take this, because I didn't hire a worker.
Okay, so I'll slide all them into my discard.
I'm running out of room for my buildings too. We usually have the boards slid down.
Okay, I want to see if I can activate my sorcerer here, and it would take me 5 to be able to buy that, and then I would need 4 more. So those 4, put them over there. Go ahead and put my yellow in and my green, and that would have to make it to where now I can take 4 of the medals from the Magic Guild and add them to my supply. And I do have a child, so I might see if I can try to recruit a character here. Let me see. You know, I'm not going to be able to. I don't have enough, so I'm going to have to just take a child.
Sinking with Dad could. I was so deaf. I could make a video of my Super Mario Bros. Like a new one.
Okay, we'll talk about that after we're done. Okay, baby? When you have kids, you just really never can 100% just shut them out and get away. So
He wants to make a video of his Super Mario
yes, he
Brothers.
does. His Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, let's see. I got the purple and the yellow, but I don't have the blue, which is kind of expensive. Huh?
So as you see in the marketplace, what's happening is that the purple and the green are starting to become plentiful. The red is starting to become a bit more scarce, and as this gets even more and more scarce,
I'm not gonna be able to afford it.
It's going to make it just that much harder to try to be able to get anything that's going to require a red gem. You're going to be drawing them out of your card, and that's fine, but you're only going to get 2 for every time. But you can always turn around and sell them, and some of these characters, like I said, can influence the market. That can help you try to buy them for a cheaper price, like this merchant right here. If you can acquire her,
that's what I was trying to get.
She'll allow you to buy or sell for either 2 more or 2 less, depending on what you choose to do.
Okay, it looks like I can afford the farmer. That's
nice. So the farmer wouldn't give you any added benefits at all if you want to take a look at him. But what he does do is up here in this corner right here, he would give you 5 medals at the end of the game from the Labor Guild. So some of these buildings over here would possibly give you a bonus 1 point for every 2 medals that you own of a particular guild. You all finished up?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and collect my stuff here. Go ahead and get my 2 blue. Alright, so what I am going to try and do is, I'm thinking I'm going to try to activate both of these girls now and try to get 3 medals for both of them. So I would need 2 yellows to be able to do that, which would cost me 13. But I do have a red, so I'm just going to basically put a red in and take a yellow because they'd be of the same amounts of value. And I think I'll go ahead and put another red in and put a purple, and between the 2 of those, that would give me what I needed to be able to get this other yellow. So that will allow me to activate both of them. So that will now allow me to take 6 more of these gears. And if this keeps up, this game's going to be over here real soon. So I do add another child. And it'll be your turn again.
I better do something soon, or you're just gonna end the game. And
yes, I will. But the good thing is you're getting a good feel about how you're able to purchase the workers. You saw Carmen actually purchase one of the buildings, and even though this may be a shorter game than our typical games, simply because I did kind of luck out and get this character here and was able to obtain another one of the exact same type, and that's allowed me to drain these medals to try to force an end game faster than what she's going to be ready for.
So that's 1 and 2.
Most of our games usually last at least probably about 45 minutes up to an hour, and the only reason they do is because we do pull out several of these medals at the start of the game. If we would have left these in, I would say the game could go up to 2 hours on us. But I don't think in a 2-player game it would be that long.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to use this guy, because I actually did end up with enough money.
Okay, what's he doing? Take one of my medals again, huh?
Gem.
Oh, or a gem, whatever. You all finished up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll take 2 yellows. And then I'll get 8
Oh,
monies.
he was supposed to take 2 gems.
Oh, yeah? Did you put enough in for that?
give me that other purple one.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
what my building
And
does.
did you get your child because you did not purchase somebody from the workforce? Or did you?
I did purchase somebody.
So I am not, I'm just passing, so it is your turn.
What did I do? Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's your turn again.
Okay. Money, 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 money. I think somebody's under the table.
Yeah, he sure is. Yeah, we had a game earlier today, and most of our games, our first game we played was like 31 to 35, and then our last game was like 62 to 70 or something. I mean, it was insane, or 57 to 62. It was really, really high scoring. It was a lot of fun.
Getting these mixed in with my money.
I'm going to go ahead and collect some of my resources while I'm waiting on her. And then that way I'll be prepared to go.
Okay, so I'm going to buy a blue and a green. And that was 7 and 2, 9.
That's a lot of the game is that you're trying to think, and sometimes you'll start playing out what you need to obtain some of these characters, and so you start going ahead and selling and buying and all this stuff, and then you'll end up
Getting confused and forgetting which one you were buying.
well, not so much as that, but you'll be so close to being finished and realize, oh no, you're still 2 money short, and you have no way of actually getting it, and that is so disappointing.
Well, the good thing is, though, that you're not penalized. You can switch out gems for money and money for gems, and it doesn't, it's the same value no matter what. So.
Okay, so you're all finished up, I take. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 greens, 1 yellow, and 4 money. And I'm going to go ahead and get, well, why don't I put those in there instead of trying to take them. There we go.
I never took my... Yeah, I did. I spent it. Duh.
Okay. And then I'm going to get 4 more of the, oops, not 6, but 4 more of the medals from this guild here, from the Magic Guild. So, not really doing a whole lot of weird interaction this game. A lot of times we're doing strange things and trying to affect each other, but Carmen's starting to panic because she knows now that I'm shuffling that there's only 2 of the 3 medal for the World Labor Guild.
I'm just buying as many points as I can at this point.
But the main purpose of this video is to give you a good feel on how you're taking turns, the actions. You notice I'm not even trying.
I just discarded that.
I'm not even trying for a building because I know what my goal is here. When I knew that I had that one character that would let me have the 3 medals, and then another one popped up, and I was able to obtain her. Going for buildings wasn't even really in my plan at that point, so this will be a much faster game than usual. I take it you're all finished?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well I did draw her again, but let's see, I've got 8 money. Did you purchase somebody from here? It doesn't matter, we're all out of children anyways, aren't we? Okay. So I'm going to try to go ahead and activate her, but I need a blue and a yellow. I do have a yellow, and blues are getting awfully expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 8 to purchase that blue. So I'll put my blue and my yellow into the earth, which will activate her, which I'll take, boom. Now there's 1 left, and that'll be the end game. And now I do have this character here too, but she's going to be a little tougher to try to activate because I need 2 greens and a yellow, and I have none of those, and it would cost me 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to try to obtain all that.
Yeah, you've got that.
No, because then I need 4 as well, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I do have these 2 purples. Well, I could sell this purple for 1, and that would actually get me what I need,
yep.
But I'm not even thinking I'm going to mess with that. I'm just going to go ahead and just wait till that other character pops up instead and force the end game. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to put pressure on her to try to act fast so that she can try to counter me. So I'm going to go ahead and collect my resources as I'm waiting on her to finish her turn. And then...
Well, I do get to take your gems.
Okay, well, you're not taking these, dear. What are you
They're
taking? Both the
purple
purples?
ones, I guess.
There you go.
They're not expensive, but at least there's something.
Okay. I'll set these up right here for the moment. And she's going to try to activate her knight again. And don't forget, he would go to the number 1's position.
Yeah, I'm going to put him on this side of the board because over
make
here
it a
was
little
too
easier
confusing.
for you. Okay.
Wizard.
Yep, I think you might be able to get him actually.
Yeah, I might.
And he's worth 6 points, so I could surely help you try to balance the odds here for
so
you.
I need a green one, which would cost me 3.
Mm-hmm. They're not that expensive at all.
And yellow.
Which would cost you
me
8. They're a bit more expensive. And you need 1 purple and then 4 money as well, which you can sell blue easy for the 4 money. Here, I'll just give you 4 back.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. And then there you go. And that wizard does nothing for her other than just gives her, 6 victory points. So that's pretty awesome, really.
That's not a bad deal.
No, not at all.
1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see. See if I can work it out so I can use my other card still.
The last game that I played, I went after the Entertainment Guild, and I had all 3 of the buildings that belong to the Entertainment Guild. The Entertainment Guild, they're real good at letting you draw cards and go through your deck. And I was at the end of the game, I had so many of them, I was able to get victory points for each one of the members of the Entertainment Guild I had. Plus, for every 2 points, I'd get an extra bonus point because of the buildings. Okay, remember he'll stay there, and you only draw 4 cards at the beginning of your next turn.
And I should have discarded that with my worker that I bought.
Okay. You all done?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and get my resources over here into my supply. And I did not draw the character I needed, so she's going to be able to live for another day here.
Yay!
But I do have 2 children. I might be able to see if I can try to score some of these victory points that are on some of these cards. So she's pretty cheap. So I'm going to go ahead and buy her. And figure that's for one of my children here. So I'll just discard her with that. It was only 1 victory point, but better than nothing. And I'm probably going to be hard pressed to get any of these other characters. And I probably won't. So I'm going to go ahead and put that child there. So actually, yeah. And then it would be your turn. And I will just go ahead and warn you, this will be your last turn, unless you got an ace up your sleeve. So it's kind of amazing because our last game, we had so much goofiness going on. I had a witch, and then I had this guy who was called an alchemist that I could use, and I was able to change the medals that she was earning for her guilds, and I could change them to any other different type of medal.
I don't think I can do a whole lot with this.
She was hating on me there at the end of the game.
Yeah, there's only 1 point for everything out here. So I just don't know that it's...
You might as well just try to get what you can for the moment, because this will be your last turn, so 1 point could make the difference. What are these 2 red medals doing here?
I wondered what happened to those.
I gotta watch her like a hawk. She's probably got medals all tucked up in her sleeve everywhere.
Well,
all kinds
if
of
they're on the
places.
board, then I was using them to pay for something, and I know that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got 3 characters here that are all worth 1 value that you could possibly get a hold of.
I just don't... Well, I could trade this one out for a blue.
Mm-hmm. You gonna go ahead and get the merchant, I take?
I guess. Since that's what I can do.
Now, this is unfortunate that you guys didn't see a lot more of these abilities of these characters coming to fruition, to light, right in front of you on camera. And the main reason is because I just got lucky to get the right card to be able to try to force the end game, like I said.
Yeah, our last game was really neat because I had an interesting building.
So I will go ahead and just spin that one and that one. Activate her. Take the last one. That does force end game, but before I do that, I will see if I can try to get maybe one more point from one of these characters that are left up here. So let's see here. This character here would cost me 2 blue. I do have 1. A blue would cost 8. These silver do nothing for you at the end of the game, so you might as well just spin them if you can. Another one would cost me 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I would need 1 extra money, which I can't do. So no biggie. I'll just put it back. And that is the end of the game. So we add up our victory points here. Each one of these that don't have a number count as 1. So 1. And then you also want to look on your characters to see if they were worth any victory points. At 27 points, that's pretty low.
33.
Yeah, so you ended up winning after all, huh?
Yeah, it looks like you had it in the bag with all those, but I had a lot of cards with points on
Well, that I only had 1, and I knew as you was buying those up that could end up coming back to haunt me. So force and end game kind of worked back against me. Like I said, you guys didn't really get to see a lot of the abilities of some of the cards, but we're going to talk about those in our quick review. And look for that. We're going to give our opinion of the game. I'll just tell you right here now, this is what Dominion should have been. I like this a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy this game. And as you can see, if it's a short game, buying up the cards with the points on it works pretty good.
So we appreciate you taking the time to watch. And this game currently is on Kickstarter. And if you want to see it actually be produced and come alive, you got to go support it. Bye-bye.
Bye.